What up, everybody? It's your boy Big E, and I'd like to welcome everybody to my first edition of my DVD and CD collection. Now, I listen to hip hop CDs and I also watch old school kung fu movies. For those who don't know what I do on my daily basis, know what I mean? And hip hop music is my life, know what I mean? I listen to hip hop every day. And I also watch these kung fu movies because they're like the love of my life, know what I mean? So I dedicate my life to watching old school kung fu movies and listening to the greatest hip hop albums from the 90s and the early 2000s. Now, if anybody's going to ask me if I listen to today's hip hop, the answer is no. Because all that mumble trap hip hop stuff, it's really not my thing. It's not my thing, to listen to groups like Migos or Future or Rich Homie Quan. Nah. See, I don't fuck with them people. Know what I'm saying? I don't fuck with them rappers. I fuck with lyricists. I mess with hip hop MCs that paved the way and made a big impact in the hip hop community. Know what I mean? So that's the kind of hip hop that I listen to. And the DVDs that I watch are old school kung fu movies. In the days of the Shaw Brothers, when they had all them classic kung fu movie releases and all the stars that basically starred in this movie. Know what I mean? And what I like to do today is show you the collection of kung fu movies that I have and the old school hip hop CDs that I have. Know what I mean? And so, without any further ado, I'm going to show you my collection for the hip hop CDs, of course. Now, currently, what I'm listening to right now on the radio, as you can hear right now, is this classic Blood of Abraham album, Future Prophets. And this came out in 1993 when the late Eazy-E was running Ruthless Records. And this has the classic cut Stabbed by the Steeple and The Devil Gets No Dap, which this album has 14 classic cuts, and you can find these albums, they sell like used albums, so if you want to go ahead and get this, go ahead and cop it and pick it up, know what I mean? And this album here I was listening to like about 2 hours ago. This is from 1998. It's Cocoa Brothers, The Rude Awakening. And they have their classic cuts like Black Trump, Hold It Down, and Maya Angelou. And this is from 1998. And I gotta say that this album, Cocoa Brothers, The Rude Awakening, aka Smith & Wesson, this album was a sure banger. And I hope most of y'all people who are watching this video, that you have this in your collection, because this album here is a sure CD to have if you haven't listened to good hip hop. Know what I mean? And this album was an indie album. Called There's a Poison Going On. And they have their classic joints on this album like 4119, Crayola, Kevorkian, what. This is a sure banger to have if you haven't gotten any classic hip hop bangers, and you should, because this should be definitely on one of your CD racks, you know what I mean? And also from Public Enemy was this 1994 classic PE album, Music and Our Message. And this was their like sixth or seventh group effort, in which they have classic cuts like What Side Are You On, Ain't Nothing But a Song, and What You Gonna Do Now. So get this album if you haven't already, because this is also a classic hip hop banger that you should be having at your CD collection. Know what I mean? And this right here is one of the iconic conscious groups from the 1990s. Brand Nubians and God We Trust. And yes, this is a parental advisory album, even though it doesn't have the sticker label on it. And in this album, it has the classic joints Punks Jump Up to Get Beat Down, Allahu Akbar, and Love Me and Leave Me Alone. So if you haven't gotten this CD release, you should, because this is a classic hip hop banger that you should be having in your, in your CD collection. And by the way, this video is going to be on YouTube, so after I'm done showing you what I have, I'm going to post this on YouTube so everybody will be able to see my DVD and CD collections, know what I mean? And this classic indie album is from a Canadian producer named Crown, and he dropped this album called Pieces to the Puzzle. And in this album, it contains, guest appearances by Grand Agent, Little Dap from the group Home. It also contains appearances by the Arsonists, Rascal from Cali Agents. Well, some of the guest appearances on this album, and it has joints like Squeeze, Here We Are, Pieces to the Puzzle, the title album, and Survival Challenge. So go ahead and get this album if you haven't already, know what I mean? Because this is a sure banger to have if you don't have any good classic hip-hop DVDs or CDs, or you know what I'm saying. And this album is by Detroit producer Apollo Brown and legendary Brooklyn MC OC. And this album, Trophies. And in this album, you'll have cuts like the title track, Trophies, The Pursuit, We the People, the first 48, Just Walk, The Formula, and Fantastic. So go ahead and get this CD right here, because this is a sure classic banger to have, know what I mean? And like I said, if you like what I'm showing you, you can press like on this video right here that I'm going to share on YouTube. And if you don't like it, that's alright too. I don't mind if you don't like it. But if you're a real hip-hop fan, if you like this, continuing on, this Sadat X album was recently released in 2015. And the guest appearances are Black Rob, the Chia Lee, Focus, and there are special guest appearances by legendary Juice Crew MC Craig G and Brooklyn MC Sky Zoo. And on this album right here, it has classic joints like What Up Kid, Notorious B.I.G. Story, Sliding, Armageddon, and Put It On Me. So go ahead and get this album if you haven't already, because you should be having this in your collection. And this was straight out of 1995, when some film director made a movie about the Black Panthers, and they had a soundtrack for it, Pump Your Fist. And in this joint, in this album, you have songs that star like the classic hip hop MCs. You have KRS-One's for I Yeah, Jeru the Damager for the Frustrated Nigga, and you got Rakim for Shades of Black. So go ahead and get this album if you haven't already, because this should be in your collection too, know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got all the classic CD collections, know what I mean? And that's why for the next couple of sessions, I'm going to be showing you like classic DVDs and hip-hop CDs that I have. So that's why I'm making this video right here for you right now, know what I mean? And this is from the Goon Music set. This is Sean Stranger's Street Urchin, know what I mean? And this has classic joints here like Victim, Bang It Out, Physical Education, and The Pain. So this should be in your collection too if you haven't gotten this CD collection. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? If you haven't gotten this CD here, because this album, it's banging. And this is a classic Pete Rock album for those who like any joints made by the legendary producer Pete Rock. This is called New York's Finest, and it features all your favorite hip-hop artists on this album, like We Roll by Jim Jones and Max B. You got The Lox on this album with 914. And you got a joint by Master Killer and Raekwon called The PJs. So go ahead and get this album if you haven't already, because this is also a sure banger to have if you're a hip-hop fan, you know what I mean? And this album right here is from the legendary Rough Riders artist Eve, in which she released this album called Scorpion. And it contains the title hit track, Let Me Blow Your Mind with Gwen Stefani, know what I mean? And I know most of y'all have this album because it features joints that feature the Brat, Trina, the Lox, and it features the late great Tina Marie on this album, you know what I mean? So go ahead and get this album if you haven't already, because this is a sure banger album to have, you know what I mean? And this classic album by Connecticut MC Apathy, he put out this joint that was made in 2006 called Eastern Philosophy. And this features his label mates, Esoteric and Self-Titled. And it has joints like Eastern Philosophy, 1000 Grams, Here Come the Gangsters, Philosophical Gangster, and The Buck Stops Here. So go ahead and get this album if you haven't already, because this is also a sure banger to have, you know what I mean? And these last two CDs that I'm going to show you are from a underground Boston hip-hop group called NBS. The first album is The Smoke Fest. And this album was pretty good because it contained like boom bap hip-hop, and it contained a little bit of trap mumble hip-hop. So this is also a sure good banger to have because it has joints like Prime Time, Booty Gold, Last Lyricist Alive, and it features Boston MCs Slain, Jason, and Ed O.G. So go ahead and get this album if you haven't already, know what I'm saying? And the final CD that I'm about to show y'all is also from NBS. And they did a collabo album with Snow Goons called Trapped in America. And they got title tracks like Worst Enemy, Putting in Work, Again We Rise, Steve Urkel. And it appears and it has guest appearance by Rosewood, Husker Kingpin, Rex, Terminology, and Sick Nature. So go ahead and get this album banger if you haven't already, know what I mean? And now, I'm about to show you my DVD collection, some of my DVD collection, because like I said, I also like to listen to watch old school kung fu movies, you know what I mean? And this first one that I'm about to show you, this is this is from the Far East Asia, Far East Flicks company. This album, this DVD here is called Revenge of the Corpse, and it stars Jason Pai, Piao, Ku Feng, and Lo Lei. And this was a great, horrorcore / kung fu movie. You know what I mean? So go ahead and get this if you haven't already, because this is a good movie to watch. You know what I mean? And this next movie I'm about to show you stars Rosamund Kwan, Kara Hui, Jason Pai Piao, and the great Chen Quan Tai in Long Road to Gallantry, you know what I mean? And this was made in 1984. And this is a good quality movie to watch if you're getting bored, you got nothing to do, you know what I mean? So go ahead and get this movie. You could get this movie in your good websites right now, if you can find this movie, you know what I mean? And the next movie I'm about to show you is one of my favorites, Lion vs. Lion, and this stars Venom Mob member Lo Mang, and one of my favorite actors, Wong Long Wei, in Lion vs. Lion. And this movie was like, mainly like about the lion dancing, you know what I mean? But if you watch this movie, you'll see the story plot twist to the movie, you know what I mean? And so you should go ahead and get this movie if you haven't already, you know what I mean? And this movie here stars the great Gordon Liu, and it also stars Venom Mob members Lo Mang and Kuo Choi, and it also stars Young Wang Yu and the Crazy Shaolin Disciples, which also stars the late great Lo Lei. So you should go ahead and get this movie if you haven't already, because this is a sure banger to watch, you know what I mean? And this classic movie right here, if you like cult movies, this is Tales of a Eunuch, and it stars Gordon Liu and Wang Yu. And this is a good movie to watch because this is more like a kung fu comedy movie. So go ahead and get this if you like Hong Kong movie cinemas, know what I mean? Now this movie right here, this is an exclusive movie because this was controversial if you follow Shaw Brothers films. This was a controversial film, but the stars in the movie were magnificent. It stars Pai Piao and the late Yue Hua. And Wu Yuan Chin is also in this movie, know what I mean? So go ahead and get this banger movie if you like Hong Kong cinemas from Shaw Brothers. Now, this was an independent movie, not from Shaw Brothers, but this is also a good kung fu movie to watch, know what I mean? And it stars the great Ti Lung in Kung Fu Emperor. And this also stars Flashlegs Tan Tao Liang, and it stars the great Chen Xing, know what I mean? So go ahead and get this movie because this is a sure banger to have if you like old school kung fu movies, know what I mean? And this next Shaw Brothers classic is Chu Yuan directed movie starring Ti Lung, Ching Li, and Ku Feng, The Roving Swordsman. And you can also find this at FarEastFlix.com because they sell these movies. So if you feel like copping this DVD movie, go to that website because they have the greatest classic movies on there, know what I mean? And also from the FarEastFlix.com website, which this DVD I purchased. This is The Enchantress, and this movie stars Lo Lei, Lu Young, the late Yue Hua, Ku Quan Chung, Mary Jane Raymer, and it also features Venom Star member Kuo Chui, the Lizard. He's in this movie. So go ahead and get this movie if you love Kung Fu movies from Shaw Brothers, know what I mean? And this next movie was a Chu Yuan classic, a cult classic, Clans of Intrigue, and this stars Ti Lung and Ling Yun. Yue Hua is also in this movie. And it also stars Betty Pei T, in which she played the princess of, some palace. So go ahead and get this banger if you haven't already, because this is a good cult classic DVD to have, know what I mean? Next up, we have another Chu Yuan classic, The Killer Clans. And it has all your basic stars in this movie, like Ching Yi, Yue Hua, Ku Feng, Cheng Hua. And it also stars Wang Chung, and Danny Lee is in this movie too. So go ahead and get this movie if you haven't already, because this is also a sure banger to have, know what I mean? And finally, from director Tang Chia, we have this Ti Lung, Tong Sheng, and Jason Pai Piao classic, Shaolin Prince. And this is a kung fu movie, action-packed movie, which they're trying to eradicate a tyrant named the Ninth Prince. And they have magnificent action sequences in the Shaolin Temple, know what I mean? So go ahead and get this banger too, because this is also a sure banger to have if you're a fan of Shaw Brothers Kung Fu movies, know what I mean? And so basically that's all I wanted to show you. And like I said, within the next few weeks, probably on a Wednesday, I'm going to be showing you like collections of the Kung Fu movies and the hip-hop CDs that I collect every day, know what I mean? Because I've been collecting old school Kung Fu movies since, 1997. And I've always been a lifelong hip-hop CD collector, know what I mean? Started collecting these CDs since 1995, know what I mean? So, these old school Kung Fu movies and these classic hip-hop CDs from the 90s and the early 2000s, they're like my life, right? They're like my life, know what I mean? And so basically that's all I wanted to say on this special video presentation. So take care of yourselves, love one another, because like I always say every week, you only live once in this world, know what I mean? And I'll be back next Wednesday with another edition of my CD, DVD collections, know what I mean? So take care of yourselves, love one another, and I'll holler at y'all next week. Peace.